A tissue is a group of cells that have similar shape and function. Different types of tissues can be found in different organs. In humans, there are 4 basic types of tissue: epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous tissue. We will be focusing on the nervous tissue. The nervous system is like the CPU of a computer. It is the master controlling system of the body. It's designed to constantly and rapidly adjust and respond to stimuli the body receives. It includes the brain, cranial nerves, spinal cord, and associated peripheral nerves. Our nervous system is organized into 2 anatomical structural divisions: the central nervous system, CNS for short, which consists of the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS for short, which consists of 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 31 pairs of spinal nerves, their branches, ganglia, and sensory receptors. The CNS consists of the brain and the spinal cord, where incoming sensory information is processed, thoughts and emotions are generated, and memories are stored. Most nerve impulses that stimulate muscle contraction and glandular secretion originate in the CNS. The PNS is made up of nerves and nerve networks. They are bundles of axons, which are long, slender projections of a neuron that conduct electrical impulses away from the neuron's cell body. The body contains millions of sensory neuron receptors that react to stimuli from the environment. The sensory receptors that react to stimuli from the environment can be classified into 5 different areas: pain receptors, thermoreceptors, mechanoreceptors, chemoreceptors, and photoreceptors.
Pain receptors respond to damaging stimuli causing physical pain. Thermoreceptors detect heat and cold. Mechanoreceptors relate to the touch, pressure, and vibration of the skin. Chemoreceptors detect possible chemical stimuli in the environment. And photoreceptors are cells in the retina that absorb and convert light and are processed into the images we see. The PNS can be divided into 2 systems. The first, the somatic nervous system. It is responsible for voluntary movement and action. This system is composed of both sensory neurons, which carry information from the nerves to the brain and spinal cord, and motor neurons, which transmit information from the CNS system to muscle fibers. The second PNS system is the automatic nervous system. It is responsible for controlling involuntary functions such as heartbeat, respiration, digestion, and blood pressure. This system is also related to emotional responses such as sweating and crying. The autonomic system can be further separated into 2 subsystems. One is the sympathetic nervous system. This system controls the body's response to emergencies such as your heart and breathing rate increases. Digestion slows or stops, pupils dilate, and you begin to sweat, known as the fight or flight response. This system responds by preparing your body to either fight the danger or flee. The second autonomic system is the parasympathetic system. This part of the nervous system functions to counter the sympathetic system. After a crisis or danger has passed, the system helps to calm the body. Heart and breathing rates slow, digestion resumes, pupils contract, and sweating ceases. The nervous system has 3 major functional divisions: sensory, motor, and integration. Sensory neurons transmit sensory information from receptors of PNS towards the CNS. Motor neurons transfer motor information from the CNS to effectors in the periphery of the body. Integration through interneuron transmit information between neurons within the CNS, analyze inputs, and coordinates outputs.
Structural classification of neurons include multipolar. In these neurons, impulse enters through various directions and is directed in one particular direction. Bipolar, an impulse that enters from one direction and is directed in another and is only found in the eye, ear, and nose. And unipolar, which are mostly sensory neurons and have only one option of directing impulse, giving rise to dendrites and axon. Messages carried by the nervous system are electrical signals called impulses, which are transmitted by neural cells. There are two types of neural cells: sensory, motor, and interneuron cells, as discussed in the previous slide, for processing, transfer, and storage of information, and neuroglia cells for support, regulation, and protection of neurons. Important CNS neuroglia cells include astrocytes, which are blood-brain barriers that regulate fluid, provide structural support, replace damaged neurons, and assist with development, and oligodendrocytes, an insulating layer around a nerve and allow nerve impulses to move more quickly. Other important CNS neuroglia cells include microglia, which defend against pathogens, and epidermal cells, which line ventricles of the brain and the central canal of the spinal cord. It also assists in production and the circulation of cerebrospinal fluid. Important PNS neuroglia cells include Schwann cells, which are myelin, an insulating layer around a nerve and allow nerve impulses to move more quickly, and satellite cells, which protect cell bodies and ganglia and regulates nutrients. The neuron structure is comprised of dendrites, which are stimulated by environmental changes or the activities of other cells, cell body, which contain nucleus, mitochondria, ribosomes, and other organelles, axon, which conducts nerve impulse towards synaptic terminals, and synaptic terminals, which affect other effector organs such as muscles or glands. Synapse in nerve tissue is a junction between two nerve cells where impulses pass with the neurotransmitter. In order for neural control to occur, information must not only be conducted along nerve cells, but must also be transferred from one nerve cell to another across a synapse. Our senses and body would not function without the existence of our nervous system. Nervous tissue is organized into the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The sensory, motor, and integration components of the body work together to receive, send, and process all sensory input and create life.